Live from the Motor City, all the way to the Volunteer State. It's time for the Reckless Speculation Podcast, where we recklessly speculate the latest news in the world of sports. From college football to NASCAR, we've got you covered. And don't forget to stick around for the world-famous Bet Your Nuts, where we will give you your best bets to make the most money. Now sit back, grab your favorite drink of choice, and join Robbie Davis, Raj Mehta, Brandon Chain, and Tom Sloan. It's showtime.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Reckless Speculation. This is our NFL kickoff show. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the NFL, particularly a couple of games we saw this past week. So without further ado, let's introduce some of the panel here. Our brains, or, Wizard of Oz behind the operation, Tom Sloan. Welcome.
I'm behind the curtain.
Stepped
away from behind the curtain. Mr. Chain, what is up, my friend?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Ready for this NFL week? What is it? Week 12?
14.
Week 14? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And a big matchup with my Fighting Detroit Lions going into Soldier Field to face your former quarterback in Justin Fields. So it should be a good game. Looking forward to that.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll bring on Robbie Davis because he is here and has a short time with us tonight. But what's going on, Robbie?
Yeah, so it is week 14, also known as Raj Week in my world. So Raj and I face off this week in fantasy football. So yeah, gotta start prepping my guys for that. And then next week to end the season, I got that bum Dave. And so looking forward to riding out the season on a winning note.
All right. And for once on time, Mr. Raj Mehta. What's going on, brother?
Bro, hotel life, trying to rig anything I can, and it's looking brutal out here. Tissues and remotes.
I love the decor in the back.
That's
just
curtains.
It's great.
Yes, this is the suite at La Quinta Inn. So the businessman suite. Yeah, I couldn't turn on the titty lamp, whatever it is, because it'll be the light behind me. I don't know what that is. And apparently you're not supposed to have light. I've learned that from watching Hollywood.
Yeah, not in the back, in the front. You want light in the front, right?
Light in the front.
Yeah,
I've learned that.
All right, let's dive right into it. This Eagles 49ers game, a little bit of a shock, a little bit of not a shock. What do you think, Raj? What do you think? The 49ers having Trent Williams and Debo back. Was that the key factor, or was it having Brock Purdy?
I think all of the above. We've talked about with Trent Williams and Debo, they are undefeated at 9-0. The best left tackle in the game, unquestionably, in my opinion, and just probably the most versatile guy in the slot. You can play him all over. He's like a big tight end. He's fast. He's just made of glass. That's the only problem. But when they play, it just changes so much of what they can do. Not to mention, a great OL and a guy named C-Mac. But, Purdy, he really impressed that day. And it's obvious to me and others that Jalen Hurts is not right. He still threw for 300 at one TD. Ran for 20 and another TD. I think Tom can verify, but he has something like 15 rushing TDs. But the Niners just showed balance all over the place. Debo 4 for 116, 2 TDs, Kittle 4 for 68 or something. It's just it was really impressive. But also on, defensively, they looked like the Niners of old. They were great on third down, and Philly just looked hapless. I was pretty amazed overall. Just a great game by San Francisco.
Yeah, no, I totally agree on that. Tom, all the hype on this game, and did it feel kind of like a dud to you? Like that San Francisco was so dominant and Philly has been this, kind of pigeon on a pedestal, like they're the mecca of NFL. Or is this just how the NFL is? Like one day you're on top, one day you're on the bottom.
Well, I think we can all agree the last probably 4 weeks, Philly's been playing with house money. They've been a second half squad. Against Buffalo, they were down 17-7 at half. They fight back. They go to overtime and end up getting the win. Buffalo can't cash in the red zone, kick a field goal. Philly goes down and wins it. So I think they've been playing with fire the last few weeks. And one topic that they don't want you to discuss in Philadelphia is Jalen Hurts' knee. Anytime you bring it up, interview's over. I do think that's a thing, and it has affected Jalen Hurts from really pulling the ball back and taking off outside of the 2-yard line, where Raji has 12 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Apologies.
So I think that his inability, for whatever reason, to make plays with his legs has kind of made that offense predictable. And here's another thing. There's been a guy out for the last month, Dallas Goedert. He comes back this week. I think that's a huge loss, or it was a huge loss, a lot like Mark Andrews is with Baltimore. So we're going to see how much that affects him this week going up against Dallas. But Philadelphia's secondary is atrocious. I think they're the 27th ranked
28th
defense, 28th. So they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson last year, who was kind of a catalyst on that defense, and then they lost Mike. It's Epps. He's playing for the Raiders.
The Raiders. Now. He got hurt last
so
week though, but
he was kind of their spark plug in defense. Those guys are gone. So and they haven't been able to recover from that. So I think what we saw last week and what we could possibly see this week is the reality of the Eagles. I think they're a little bit better than the Lions, but they're definitely not at the top of the class as they were probably last year. But the bubble burst, and I think it's going to continue to falter to the ground this Sunday.
Okay. That being said, Robbie, fully healthy, both teams, San Francisco or the Eagles. Who do you like?
So I'm still a believer in the Eagles. I think this was you ask, is like this just how the NFL is? Yes, it is. And as a Titans fan, there's games where I'm like, there's no way we're going to win these, and we'll just win them. And a lot of it is the schedule. Look, these people are humans, and the Eagles leading up to this was Dallas, at Kansas City, and Buffalo. Those are 3 huge games. They've got a 2-game lead in the NFC, 2-game lead in the division. This just seemed like the coaches are tired, the players are tired, and just one of those letdown games.
Kind of a formality.
Yeah, just you got some breathing room, and
more than a letdown, dude. They got the balls stomped on.
Well, Rex Ryan on Get Up the other day was saying, like, they weren't even hiding what defense they were in. Like, from the get-go, it was like, that's cover 2, that's cover 4, no disguise. It just seemed like, I mean, I think it was one of those games where it was competitive for the first half, and I think they just ran out of gas, and then they just got boat raced.
Okay.
They have a 1-game lead
now.
In that.
Yeah,
right
now
yeah.
after that
it was
game.
a two-game
It
lead.
was a 2-game lead coming into that game.
Yeah.
Right.
But don't they play each other coming up?
Philly plays Dallas this week.
Yep.
Yeah, this week, which is
At
it's going to be a big game. But no, I tend to agree with you, Robbie. I think it was just a lack of enthusiasm or gumption, if you will. It was just ho hum, just get out there and be a TV show for a minute. They just look unenthusiastic. I know San Francisco, on the other hand, they had a little bit of a redemption. They needed to get back at them. They were like, we got our boys back and we're going to dominate you. And
I mean, there's a reason why essentially, I mean, the line was Niners -2.5, which is essentially 5.5. Like Vegas knew something coming into this that
for sure
this isn't going to be a heavyweight fight.
Like I said, the question I posed to you, a healthy San Francisco versus a healthy, Eagles team. If you take that to the Super Bowl, my opinion, San Francisco is going to be favored by 4.
Yeah.
In that game.
So I think the San Francisco's slot receiver is better than Philly's. So Juwan Jennings is better than Philly's slot nickel.
Where did Juwan Jennings go to school?
Tennessee.
Yeah. All right.
The Niners exploited that every big third down. It went to Juwan Jennings.
Quick roundtable, really quickly. Is San Francisco? Give me a yes or no answer. I'm going to start with you, Tom. I'll go to Raj and then Robbie. Is San Francisco 49ers the best team in the NFL?
Absolutely.
Raj? Robbie?
Not in top 2.
Not in the top 2. I say they are. So
that's
3
reckless.
against 1.
Robbie is the wheel.
Robbie is pulling for the Titans apparently to make it in there. So
wild card still a chance. Division still a chance.
Yeah, we're not going to get there. So let's move on before we digress any further. What the hell happened with the Packers and the Chiefs? Jordan Love pulled this out, or did it? Like we talked about, the making of the Packers quarterbacks, several shows ago. I don't know, maybe a year ago even, of how they have a system and where they sit quarterbacks, they learn from veterans, and then they show up and, maybe start slow for Jordan Love, a little slow start. But he seems to be pretty on top of his game. And I mean, he can manage a game and control it, especially against, I know it was at home, but still.
Chiefs defense is
Kansas City Chiefs defense is no joke. Yeah, exactly. So, Tom, let's go to you. What did you make of this game? What do you think of Jordan Love and the Packers at this point?
Well, I got to see firsthand how I don't know what's going on here. I got to see firsthand how Jordan Love has gotten, how much he's improved at tennis at the Thanksgiving game. I mean, the first play of the game went for 50. Excuse me, I have to log off. So Robbie, keep going. I have to fix something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going
on here?
She's the problem. It's her.
She has a song about that, right?
Yeah.
I'm the problem, it's me.
Kansas City is not focused. Like Travis Kelce's not focused. They're all trying to be mini celebrities.
I told you this would backfire.
Yes. No,
I know that's hard for you to admit, Rob.
Yeah.
Rob is
a huge Swiftie. huge.
Yeah, I every time she's at the game and
this is nothing but a distraction.
No, yeah, it's a huge Patrick Mahomes is distracted because Brittany Mahomes is up there with Taylor in the booth. All the
ESPN and CBS, they're showing Taylor Swift more than the game. It is a problem. It's ridiculous.
So, NFL viewership, Kelsey jerseys.
If our fantasy trading deadline wasn't already passed, I'd trade Kelsey. I want him off my team. Like, I wasted my second round pick on him. Like, they're not playing football right now like they should.
They are not going to trade Kelsey. But
no, I would trade Kelsey. No, I'm saying I would trade Kelsey on my fantasy team. No, Kansas City's not going to trade him. I would trade him, but yes, Jordan Love is following the Packers. Well,
blueprint,
let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's a couple of games. But he has gotten tremendously better from start of the season to right now.
Each game he gets better.
To where the Packers are dangerous right now. If they get in this thing.
If they make the playoffs, that is a team you do not want to play as a Packers.
Completely agree. But yeah, the Chiefs, they're so distracted. They're mini celebrities now.
Yeah.
That whole
Yeah, Raj, let's elaborate on that, Rod. Sorry, Tom, you were going to say something?
No, I apologize, guys. Having some technical difficulties. All of a sudden, something started playing. So, but no, I mean, real quick. Sorry to interrupt. You could see his development against Detroit, albeit Detroit's secondary is suspect to say the least. But his maturing, first play from scrimmage goes for a 50-yard pass that it took the wind out of Ford Field. So that shows me his development and how far he's come. The last 3 weeks, he's been the reason why they've won these games. And playing at home at Lambeau is no easy task. So for the opponents, Kansas City has a lot like Philadelphia. They've been
what is that, Raj?
You're sorry, dude.
That is the loudest thing
I forgot, bro. I'm like, I'm going.
For those who are listening, Raj is
just put your mute on next time you do Tic Tacs. Okay, just mute it.
Can't help it, dude.
To make a long story short,
I'm on my stupid phone.
To make a long story short, the Chiefs are a lot like the Eagles. They've been on thin ice, barely winning, and I think this is an indication of trouble ahead for the Chiefs. So, and I think there's too much distraction outside of the football field, and it's showing. So,
hey, can I quickly on them? People don't give enough credit to Joe Barry and that defense turning around. They've climbed up to 9th in the league in scoring defense at 20.3 points per game. Offensive line as well. They're getting much better in front of him, even without Bakhtiari, who seems to be always hurt. But, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, and, of course, you guys know who the right guard is on Green Bay, former Titan? Big John Runyon. He's still playing. And, they're just – everybody's settling in, which is quite remarkable considering all these new receivers. I mean, everyone's new to him, but rookie tight end and Musgrave from Oregon State, Jaden Reed, who's appeared and started blowing it out. Christian Watson's coming on now, but they've kind of had a next man up approach all over the offensive side of the field. But defensively, they are really, really playing well. And like you guys said, that's a tough team. I don't want to face that team. They're kind of like Jacksonville last year. It's starting to come together for a young team that has no fear and nothing to lose.
Speaking of still playing, did anyone have an idea Jimmy Graham still plays in the NFL?
I just saw that as a tight end, like third string for the Saints, which is what he
came
up.
He caught some passes against Detroit, and I was like, "Whoa!"
He caught a pass for a touchdown.
Yeah, I was like, "He still plays in the NFL?"
Yeah, he's trying to make his, $500,000 or $800,000, whatever he's getting. No, but here's the thing. Like, I look at Jordan Love, and the way I analyze quarterbacks is how they read progressions, right? Like, if you're a cerebral guy or if you're a systematic guy, like, all right, look one, throw this, number one's going to be a. He is
shorthand. Are you a Titans quarterback or are you not a Titans quarterback?
that's also true. No, but Love, watching him the last, I don't know, probably 3-4 games, he has really, really gotten into reading a defense and checking down and going through progressions, not just 1 and 2, but he's hitting 3 and even reaching to that check down on 4 without bailing. So I think he's got a bright future there in Green Bay. I think he's a little underrated. I don't know what Green Bay is doing, but they continue to produce quarterbacks. And
yeah, it looks like they hit the lottery again with that formula.
Yeah, dude,
you're right.
I think he's going to be sneaky good in the next coming years. So, all right, enough about that. Let's talk our top 5 NFL teams right now. We'll go to you, Tom, first. Who do you have as it stands? No games left right now. Top 5.
Well, right now, like I mentioned, you posed the question a few minutes ago about San Francisco. They're firing on all cylinders, so they're clearly right now my pick. I'll go Philly based on their schedule. They're 10-2. I think with Goddard coming back, I really believe that could give Jalen Hurts a bit of a security blanket, we'll say. So that could possibly bode well for them. 3, I got the Dolphins. I just think that offense is very dynamic, and their defense is really starting to show up. Although with the loss of Jalen Phillips a couple weeks ago with a Achilles injury, kind of really hurt them in a way. But Bradley Chubb's been playing good. Jalen Ramsey's been all over the field. So I like that team. They all go based on Mike McDaniel, their coach. If you haven't been watching Hard Knocks, I suggest you do. It might be as good as the Lions season. So number 4, the Cowboys, albeit they really haven't faced anybody too tough, and that comes to an end this week. We're with the Philly coming in, but mainly a lot of their wins have come against teams below 500. But Dak has been good. That whole team has been good. That Blanche, who's got 5 pick sixes, he's had a great season. So they've been really bringing it. And number 5, I've got the Ravens. And what scares me about Baltimore is not having Mark Andrews. That is Lamar's go-to guy. So really what's going to have to happen, Lamar's going to have to make some more plays with his legs. But that defense that they have is next level. And I think it's a good enough defense to really power them. So their offense, even if they don't have a good day, their defense can get them through. And as far as the AFC is concerned, it's them in Miami. But I do like the Ravens.
Great takes, by the way.
You bring up a great point on the Ravens. They're sneaky 9-3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're right at the top of the division.
Their defense rivals, the historic defense in 2010.
Yeah.
But no, I had 2 questions. Well, Tom, you nailed Dallas, by the way. We're about to find out a lot about them with Philly at the Bills, at the Dolphins, and then Detroit at home. Mm-hmm. So we're about to find out what's up with this same old Cowboys or not. But then I was going to ask you, where is Detroit? They've got to be 6th or something on yours.
I would think they're 6 or 7. They're not getting the pass rush that they need. They just lost Aleem McNeil. He went to the IR. He's been of their unsung hero in that defensive line. So the secondary's shaky. So they're going to have to score points. And they might be able to get away with it with the next few opponents outside of Dallas. But long-term, we'll see. But, they got up to a big lead against New Orleans, but they had to hang on thanks to that defense. So I would say 6 or 7.
What would make you happy at this point in terms of their outlook? First, second round playoff win?
Home playoff win and competitive beyond that. Don't be embarrassed like they were in 91.
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally agree. All right. Robbie, your thoughts on your top 5?
So I actually have the same top 5 as Tom did. I have them in a different order, though. As I previously said, I have Philly. I still think they've got the most weapons and the most unstoppable play when push comes to shove. See what I did there? Did y'all see that?
Well done.
I've got Miami second. I think they've got the most explosive passing offense. I've got San Francisco third. I think they've got the most diverse weapons. I know statistics say one thing and all the metrics say one thing. I still don't trust Brock Purdy. I'm just not there yet. Just call me skeptic. I got Baltimore 4. I've got Dallas 5, but I've got Dallas ready to drop on Sunday night. I've got KC and Detroit waiting in the wings. Probably Detroit over KC. But so Philly, Miami, San Fran, Baltimore, and Dallas.
Nice. Raj?
Just quickly, San Francisco number 1. I love the Dolphins at number 2. I agree with Tom. Losing Jalen Phillips really hurt them. He was a hybrid in so many different ways, kind of like a blend of all 3 levels of defense, and tough injuries throughout his career. Quit football for 2 years, transferred to the U, and he's a freak when he's healthy, but he doesn't seem to be healthy. You feel bad for him, but that's still just an amazing team with an amazing weapons. Jalen Ramsey back there, Javon Holland, Chivo is that guy's insane. Just playmakers everywhere. Baltimore at number 3, mainly because of the defense. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, but yeah, they've got a lot to prove. There's no doubt about it. The defense, like I said, 4, I have Dallas for now, and number 5, I have Kansas City because they are Kansas City.
Nice. I'm similar, but different. So I'll go 49ers, Dolphins, Cowboys, Eagles, Chiefs. That's how I read it. And the Chiefs was a close. I almost put the Browns ahead of the Chiefs. Is that weird?
Oh, shit. I forgot the Philly.
Is that weird? I almost put the Browns ahead of the Chiefs.
They have
quarterback situation.
It's a quarterback situation, dude. Everything else on the Browns is firing on all cylinders.
Their defense is historically dominant right now.
So good right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So then it was tough, but because
what's funny
Mahomes,
I'm sorry. If they had Baker Mayfield right now,
they'd be ahead of the Chiefs for me.
Things, yeah.
They would be
there, dude. Providing things
if they had Ryan Tannehill,
they'd
be ahead of the Chiefs.
Don't get crazy.
But Flacco didn't look bad last week.
That's what I'm saying. Dude,
he
Flacco
come off.
Can come
he
in.
got off
he
a
could
flight.
win another Super Bowl.
Defense is monstrous. That's about it, man.
Yeah. So, all right. That was a good topic. Let's kind of transition to let's do something like most dynamic top, I don't know, 3 to 5 guys, most dynamic players in the NFL. Could be like a Tyreek Hill or something of that nature. Who actually changes the game, whether it be not necessarily stats, but like eye tests. Like, who do you see on the field that is a wrecking ball that just changes the whole game for the defense?
That you have to game plan around for that guy. Yeah,
absolutely. You have to game plan. Rosh, you go first.
We talked about this, that it's just not like the best player, but dynamic. In for me, it's multidimensional. It's everything. It's speed. It's toughness. It's yak. It's somebody like Taysom Hill that can play 3 different positions, including quarterback, and I'm pretty sure he can kick the fucking ball. Or Jalen. It's when he's healthy, he really does it all. He can make every throw. And, I say this all the time, from the 2-yard line out, because the guy can squat a house.
It's over.
It's over. It's the same fucking play. And that's why he has 11 rushing TDs. But, guys like that can catch, do everything. But, lately some DBs, Daryl Stingley Jr. of Daryl or Derek. Derek. Damn, dude, he has just been miraculous lately, some of the plays he's making, and Ramsey's back to his same old ways, but Garrett, it's just unholy what some of these guys can do. But yeah, for me, it's not just the speed aspect. It's like what we said, it's guys that you have to game plan for. It's easy to say Lamar, but
those are the true MVPs, right?
Yeah, it's like Debo, right? When he doesn't play, they lose.
Yeah, you can do all this, media MVP, blah blah blah. It's always going to be a quarterback or whatever. But you look at those guys that actually make a difference, and that you have to game plan around as a coach. As a coach, who that player is, right? So
yeah, man.
All right, Tom, who's your guy?
Raj mentioned one of them, and it's Myles Garrett. You have to account for him on the field. I mean, you've all seen the highlight of him like pretending like he's dribbling between his legs, and then he just splits the O-line. Against the Colts, he leaped over the right guard.
He was playing with him. That wasn't even fair.
Blocked a field goal, and then the next possession, he got Minshew sacked him in the end zone for a safety. He's a machine. My other defensive dynamic player that doesn't get enough credit, that I believe, and I think it's because of where he plays. Eastern Michigan's own Max Crosby.
Damn it, you took mine.
This guy is he's everything you want in a football player. He doesn't take plays off. The guy barely practiced last week, but he played, and he I don't think he sat out a play.
98% he didn't, yep. And 98% of the plays being played. I mean, for those that don't know, usually a defensive guy is probably in the 70s on a high end defensive line, and rush edge way lower. This dude plays the whole game.
He's got a motor. And then another guy that Raj mentioned too, Debo Samuel. He took a ball, was basically a bailout Purdy throw, 10 yards, and he took it for 65 for a touchdown. His speed, his versatility, he can come out of the backfield. He can run post routes. This guy is blocking. He's and like we said earlier, 9-0 when he's in the lineup. He's incredible, and he's a guy that can change the perspective of games. So I those three guys, without the speaking of the obvious, Tyreek Hill, but
sure, we're looking outside of those,
like Micah Parsons,
Not all right, Robbie, what do you got?
So I didn't look outside the obvious. I've got I missed the assignment.
Tennessee.
Just so literal, dude.
Obviously Tyreek Hill, who I honestly think, even though, he says Tua is the best passer of the football, the most accurate that he's ever been a part of, I think if Tyreek would have stayed with Patrick Mahomes, he could have the greatest numbers in NFL history as a wide out. That was just so dangerous. He's still dangerous with Tua, but Mahomes just seems to stay healthier. But this new offense with Tua seems to be great. Obviously, Garrett, Micah Parsons is my defensive guys, both freaks. You got it, and Crosby's a good thing. I was watching. Speaking of Hard Knocks, just started the first season and saw Mike McDaniel talking about Crosby and having to defend for him. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, just the freaking nature. I'm going to put Derrick Henry in there as well, as far as someone who is so strong, so fast, and still doing it at this age. He's a freak of nature. And talk about Hurts' squatting ability. Henry's is up there too. I mean,
Aaron Donald, he's one of the best. Right? What? Aaron Donald. True.
No, you went all chalk. That's good. All great players for sure.
All chalk.
I'm gonna go a little outside. Although Tom did steal one of mine, Max Crosby. How about Justin Tucker? A kicker,
just
dynamic. That dude has been solid for how many years, and probably the greatest kicker that we've seen in our lifetime.
And he's athletic, dude. He can do a lot.
And he's athletic as hell. Yeah, dude just doesn't miss. He can kick a 72-yarder if he wanted to.
Great call.
And then I'm going to give Tennessee a little love here. Not the Titans, but UT. Little Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, he is dynamic. Dude can run. He can catch the ball. You do not want to face him on the field. He's got speed. Agility. Everything you want in an offensive weapon. He's a game changer for sure. And one more. This is sneaky. This is the bro push. Jason Kelce as a center. This dude, is he not the best center in football right now? And what he does
across that line, he has before.
And just his leadership in the whole entire, locker room and what he brings, and then the belief that he gives those guys that they will make that first down. And dude, it's unlike anything I've ever seen.
What is the brotherly shove is 98%.
Dude, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Everyone knows it's coming and they can't stop it.
They can't stop it.
It'll
be gone.
And he's the leader of it. And so I got to give props to him.
Another guy real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was telling you guys, I've drafted this motherfucker every year and he always gets hurt. And now he has 16 total TDs for Miami, and that's Raheem Mostert.
Oh, yeah.
One of the fastest guys there is. He can also, get his pads down and run between the tackles. He can catch a football. He's always been able to. He has 21 catches this year, but it's always there, man. He can do a lot of different stuff. So big ups to Raheem Mostert, who is not on my fantasy team, which sucks.
If they ban the brotherly shove, that's such just bullshit. That's like
how can they ban? That is a legal play.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's coming. If you can't stop it, it's your own fault.
Think about remember the first year the Dolphins ran the Wildcat? They'd be like, oh, because they scored 4 touchdowns.
You can't hike it to a running back. You can't hike the ball to. It's like, shut up.
That's the number one thing they're gonna review.
I
in the owners' meetings.
They're going to do it. It's just going to be bullshit because they're like, oh, can't stop it. Well,
it's so stupid. It's like the rollback. Have you guys heard? I know you guys aren't golfers, but they're rolling back the ball flight of a golf.
Oh yeah, I don't really understand it scientifically, but
scientifically, they're going to take away, like if you drive the ball, say 250 yards, Robbie, that's generous for you. If you drive it 250 with a new golf ball that they're proposing, you're going to drive it 230 yards.
So is it essentially like to dumb it down to essentially it's like having a wiffle ball.
They can't make courses long enough for the pros, so this is their answer. And then they're not only doing it for the pros, all golf balls, including amateurs, are going to be rolled back. So now everyone is going to hit it, 20 yards shorter. So you got to readjust everything. And it's completely asinine. But
because a lot of the golf courses now takes it about 225 to clear the mush in the front. And so now you're gonna have to refigure all the golf courses for amateurs just to be able to land the ball.
Well, you change the tee boxes, I guess, for amateurs, but pros, the problem was you couldn't get courses long enough for the pros because they would hit it too far, which is okay. Technology, and they're in the weight room and whatever. Don't punish the entire world because the pros are hitting at 350.
Just narrow the fairways and put a fucking tree in the middle of the fairway.
It's asinine. So, hey, right now, if you can, buy every golf ball that is relevant right now, because when they roll them back, they will go shorter. And you have an advantage against your competition.
This reminds me of a forever stamp investment. Buy as many forever stamps as you can.
It's like Beanie Babies. It's like Beanie Babies.
Prices.
Buy all the Beanie Babies you can. They will be worth something someday.
The forever stamp is well played.
How'd you get rich? I invested in forever stamps and golf balls.
God.
Real quick, I want to take over here briefly from one thing Brandon loves in golf to one thing he used to love in the Tennessee Titans. And this is a fascinating subject to me. I would say their window was closing every single year, and now it's officially closed. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But, we can go back to – it's just a very complex thing, whether it be the relationship of the Titans with Nashville – the surprise trade that you guys don't like mentioning out loud. I've never liked Ryan Tannehill, a guy that played receiver and had a position change in college. I know you guys have said you could win with him, but I never saw it. But this was a team, as Robbie said, was in the AFC Championship game, giving the Chiefs all they could 3 years ago. And now, what are they? And I was going to ask you both. I'll start with you, Brandon. That describe what happened to the Tennessee Titans specifically and overall, decisions they made. What the hell happened to this team?
So the funny thing about NFL is it can change very, very quickly, for good or bad, right? It is unlike college in a sense as, well, now college is actually becoming that way with the fucking transfer portal and all this bullshit. But normally, college is not like that. So let me preface that. So my thoughts are based on old school college. NFL, you got free agencies, you got draft, you got, you can bring in veterans, you can change a team overnight, essentially, right? One year you only won 4 or 5 games. The next year you're in a playoff. Okay. So we were there. We were in a playoff game, and the Titans were moving forward. J-Rob looked promising as our GM. He was dicey. He was ballsy. Like, he made moves, which we all were kind of in for essentially in the beginning, because we didn't really know what was going on. Like he's getting trade capital, like, blah, blah, blah. We got all these draft picks. That great. Looked great on paper. But then he missed on a lot of them. Started to come into question. And then the biggest, before this show, Robbie and I were on a live show with Randall when J-Rob stabbed Mike Vrabel in the back and traded AJ Brown.
By the way, that was a month, like 6 or 5 weeks after the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill. So you can kind of blame Kansas City for that, but the Chiefs won a Super Bowl after that. And
there were some back conversations that were heard and, known out here. Mike Vrabel told AJ, he said, as long as I'm the head coach, you will always be on this team. You'll never be traded. And that was true in his eyes. And then J-Rob did what he did, stabbed him in the back. And there's video evidence of this. When the trade happened, he gets up from the war room table, like, is livid. I mean, just livid. So that was the downfall of the Titans. Titans suck right now. Long story short, Titans suck. Tannehill, he's serviceable. Offensive line's been terrible. We've missed on last few draft picks. Got to do better.
But can they? Is it time to trade Derrick Henry and Rob?
I mean, what are we going to? So look, we wanted to trade Derrick Henry last year, but the running back market went to shit. So then we get nothing, right? Now, running back market is shit. Like, what are we going to trade Derrick Henry for? A popsicle? There's nothing we're going to get out of him. We might as well keep him because he's great, right? Like, you're not going to get anything.
Eventually, even he will break down. Robbie, same question. I know that you guys, if you could talk about the new stadium, all the hike in ticket pricing and everything else, but I know that you have a more in-depth, just like Brandon, opinion on this.
Yeah, so when we spoke about this Monday in our pre-meeting, I started thinking about it more. I think there's 3 major turns that's happened in the Titans franchise. Look, they were the first pro team in Tennessee. They were beloved here. They were Tennessee's baby. You converted some Pittsburgh fans, some Bengals fans, some Falcons fans, some Saints fans. Everyone was on board. All in on the Titans. Went to the so we played in Memphis for a year, maybe 2 years, played in Vanderbilt for a year. First year in the Titan Stadium, went to the Super Bowl.
99.
Can't ask for a better opening act for the Titans in Nashville.
They went to the Super Bowl, the Music City Miracle year?
Yep, the very first year they were in.
99.
Oh, was that the Mike Jones tackle?
The forward pass, the illegal forward pass.
That was a losing the 1 yard to the Rams in Atlanta. So that was the first year of what was Adelphia and now it's Nissan Stadium. So a huge love fest. So I think the relationship has gone bad on 3 steps. Step 1 has been the rise of Nashville as a destination city. And so what used to be 90-10 Titans fans has went to 50-50 at best. You get
Sure.
Raiders, you get Patriots, you get Buffalo in there.
Agree with that.
It's 60-40 away team.
Predators are the team of Nashville.
Yeah, so that was step 1.
It's a road game destination, dude. Yeah. Top 5.
So I think that was step 1 of kind of this faulty relationship. Step 2 was this AJ Brown trade. This was a Super Bowl. Now, do I think we would have won one? Probably not, because Kansas City was snowing. But we were in the championship game. We had the lead at halftime. And this was a blindsided trade to Vrabel, to the locker room, to everyone.
Everybody.
So that was step 2. And then I think this stadium deal, nobody wants it, and it's a big FU to the loyal fans. And that's
100%.
the 3-step kind of breakup, or not necessarily a breakup, but the definitely a wedge or a distrust between the fans and the franchise now in Tennessee, at least from my perspective. And Brandon, you say you agree, and most of who I talk to agrees with that.
Look, the city does not care about fans. The Titans don't care about fans. This is about a money deal and what they can bring to the city. They're going to have a Super Bowl there eventually. They're going to have all this extra
Final Four
revenue all coming in. They could care less about the fan that's been there since 99 or 2000.
The NFL,
they don't give a shit.
Hey,
and that's a big FU. And it's like, well, F you back. Like, I'm not going.
Yeah. So Final Dagger was the NFL bringing the draft to Nashville, and they saw dollar signs. Nashville did, everyone did, and they said.
And what they did to pay for the stadium is they raised the taxes for the locals in Davidson County, and then now your hotel tax. You get that fee, that hotel, fee that you get on the end of it. There's going to be an extra $7 or $8 on that now in Nashville because you got to pay for that damn stadium, right?
Schools, education, football stadium.
Yeah. What makes more money, the schools or the football stadium, Raj? Come on.
And if people aren't familiar with Nashville, Davidson County, where the stadium is and where the Titans, there's tons of business tax, but income tax is over in Brandon's tax bracket, and those kind of it's Franklin, Brentwood, Cool Springs, but it's
expensive.
And
all they did was add more. It's ridiculous, and I feel sorry for. Well, if you live there, you know what's up. So
yeah, it's one of those things like. I am literally intrigued to see like the new stadium. It's going to be awesome. It's going to cost $2 billion. Like it's going to be nice, and you're going to walk in there and you're going to be like, "Hey, this is amazing." But it has a price on the Titans experience that I'm not sure they're ever going to get back.
Yeah, and as a loyal fan, I've been here since. I've had season tickets since 2004, right? Mm-hmm. So not 99. 99 is when they came in, but 2004. That's pretty. Wow. That's a long time. I just put my PSLs up for sale like 2 days ago.
Wow.
I'm not gonna pay $30,000 to go sit in the same seats. They raised the tickets already this year. And it's like, what kind of product are you putting out? You're going to charge me $700, and I paid it. I went ahead and renewed the tickets, obviously, but another set, like I paid an extra $700. I haven't even been to a game yet this year, not one game. I'm bleeding money out. Like it's stupid. Like get a better product on the field before you're going to ask for $30,000, for 2 seats. It's just stupid.
That's insane.
Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
No, man, I asked the question because that was a team right there with the greatest player in the league, and the window just shut very fast.
Window's done. It's over for sure. And we wasted Henry's talent. He was the best running back in the league, and it sucks. Like, it sucks for him. We had Henry and A.J. Brown. And Taylor DeWan, like if he could have stayed healthy, I do think his surgery was a little bit screwed up. Like there's no way he should have torn his ACL again after that. Same ACL, same knee.
And we just have a reputation of being a bad franchise. And because look, we're one of the few states with no income tax. You would think free agents would be – look, Nashville's a fun city if you are it's a fun city wherever. But if you are a young single man that's rich, you can have as much fun as you want to.
The
There's no
bachelorette
income
capital
tax.
of the world now.
Yeah, like there,
Past Vegas.
it's one of those things. Like Nashville should be attracting good free agent talent, but we're not. We're getting people at the end of the road, the Julio Joneses, the Randy Mosses. Like there's just
they try to bring in big names like that when they're on their way. It's so dumb and predictable. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, can't we just draft somebody that's good and let them create their own name here?
And not
what about
trade away our
Treylon
talent?
Burks?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just glad I'm on the podcast with Raiders and Detroit's fans because y'all get the frustration of missing on first round draft picks.
Oh
dude,
my God.
we have we've missed on the last like 7. Like it's so
that should be an off season show. Is just let's talk about first round draft pick history. And
It's insulting for you guys to compare yourself to the Raiders.
Worst draft pick,
not even
worst first round draft pick in history goes to the Titans. Isaiah Wilson.
Jamarcus Russell, dude.
Yeah,
no,
Raj
Alex Leatherwood 2 years ago is out of football.
Hey, Isaiah Wilson literally played one play in the NFL. Yeah. He was a first round draft pick.
Raj is trying to pull the George Costanza of we are the king of idiots. Do not insult me by even comparing yourself to me.
Exactly what I was
the king of idiots.
All right.
You guys made it back up with Jeffrey Simmons, who sat out a year, came in and suddenly is a Pro Bowl or future Hall of Famer, it looks like. So shut up.
Simmons is good. And that was, God, what, 4 or 5 years ago? I was it was when the draft was in Nashville. I was there on Broadway and I watched us draft Simmons. It was great.
Smart pick.
Anyway, let's move on. We're digressing here. We're almost to an hour. Let's go to our Bet Your Nuts segment here. What do you think?
It's time for Bet Your Nuts.
All right, we're going to start off first. Indy at Cincy. This is the battle of the backups here. Mr. Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, as Robbie would call him, a bum, is not playing, out for the season. And then we got the Colt killer over here. So, Tom, who do you got? Cincy's +1 here. It's at Cincy. What do you think?
I think we saw a lot from Jake Browning on Monday night. He really, what was he, 32 of 37 threw for over 300 yards.
Had some very reasonable numbers.
Just out of nowhere. And Mixon did his thing. Jamar Chase had a big game. This is at home. I don't think the Colts play as good on the road. Minshew Mania has been rolling, but I think the home crowd, I think Jake Browning's kind of dialed in with that offense. I like the Bengals here.
Money line?
Yeah.
It's +1, so.
Yeah. Yep.
I love that too. All right, Rob?
Colts have won 4 in a row. They're sneakily 7-5. Speaking of the Titans disaster, every team in the AFC South is a playoff contender except for the Titans. Bengals are 6-6 in the 10 spot. They're a game back. Like,
don't.
This is a intriguing game of what would usually be no-name teams. I'm going to go the Colts keep this winning streak alive. Bengals are -27 point differential on the season. Colts +4. Colts are more balanced. I'm going Colts.
That's a skewed line. And if you're listening, Titans front office, sell Robbie to the $40,000 for the 2 tickets because he will buy in. So, all right, Raj, what do you got?
I mean, can we talk about the job that Shane Steichen has done, or Steichen, I can never pronounce his name, as the head coach at Indianapolis this year? I mean, just, getting Richardson, kind of winning with him, and then completely different style of quarterback.
Look what he did with
Gardner
the Eagles.
Minshew. Yep, he was the offensive coordinator with the Eagles. Taylor is having issues, goes down and whines a lot. Zach Moss comes in. Just adjustments on the fly. My homeboy, former USC Trojan, Michael Pittman Jr. They drafted Josh Downs. It's a big next man up, and the defense has been great. Zaire Franklin is Zaire Franklin, but Shaq Leonard, DeForest Buckner, they have put together a former Michigan guy, Kwity Paye. They have put together a solid team, and I don't think Browning is going to play the way he did after listening to the hype all week, and that was a one-time thing. I will take the Indianapolis Colts as well.
I was going to say, long story short, that's the Colts all day. So let's move
talk
on.
About Coach of the Year, man.
I got Cincy here. I think there's a little bit of magic there with their QB, and I don't want Indy to win anything. So yeah, I got Cincy. All right, next. Let's go back to you, Raj. We got the
Browns.
Jags at the Browns. This is
Browns defense. No Lawrence. Browns.
Playoff positioning game between these teams. What are you thinking here? Browns are -3. This is a big game.
I'm going.
It's a big game,
dude. I'm going Cleveland.
I love that short answer. All right, we're going to move before you elaborate. Rob.
Oh, this one's tough. Is Lawrence been officially ruled out, or is he still day-to-day?
He's not playing for probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's got a good one.
Lawrence is not playing.
I guess I'm going Browns then, but yeah, give me Browns.
Are you going Baffert or what's it? Connor Baffert or
CJ Beathard?
Yeah, whatever.
CJ Beathard.
Same thing. Connor Baffert, CJ Beathard, whatever.
Connor Baffert.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
But I'm not for a dog.
This is a game that is going to be ugly. It's going to be a field goal contest. And the Browns defense, Myles Garrett, is going to get all over Beathard. And the Houston Texans will win the AFC South crown. Give me the Browns in this game.
Oh,
you guys make a great
out of
point.
here. Okay,
I'm gonna have to go with Connor Brown or Connor Baffert or whatever.
CJ Beathard.
I like you call
whatever
Connor
his name is.
Baffert.
Yeah, Connor Baffert.
Not Connor Stallions.
Give me him to screw it up and lose. So I'm going to take the Browns.
Is Deshaun Watson allowed for the Browns?
He's out for the year.
He's out for the year.
He actually opened up a new massage parlor.
Joe Flacco.
Captain Rubbing Bug. That's the name of it.
DTR, the old UCLA quarterback. But
hey, give me Joe Flacco. Give me Joe Flacco.
The number one defense in football, considering all of that crap, like yards allowed,
dude,
like 200.
Joe Flacco is a veteran. He can lead a team and manage the game. Like, he's not going to win it, but he can.
That defense, all you got to do is not make mistakes.
Give me Joe
solid
Flacco.
Offensive line.
For sure. All right, let's move on to the Bills and the Chiefs, which should have been a great matchup. But is this just kind of a blah game now? Like, both teams are kind of shitty. Is this the Taylor Swift effect going on here, or what are we looking at, Rob? Let's go to you first.
No, it's not a blog game. It's still got tons of star power. It's going to be highly watched. But no, give me the Bills. Like I said before, the Chiefs are in disarray. They're not paying attention to football. Taylor's messing up the entire season, messing up my season. Give me the Bills plus 2.5 on the road.
All right, Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, this is the season on the line for Buffalo. They lose Sunday, it's done. Season's over with. I like how they went into Philly and gave them everything they can handle. And I think they do the same. Josh Allen is going to take revenge on not getting the ball in OT a couple years ago in the AFC Championship game. This number at 2.5 for the Chiefs tells me that Vegas has no confidence in them.
Is Taylor going to be there? Do we know yet?
Who knows?
She'll be there, I'm sure.
So I like Buffalo in this game.
Hey, so live right now, the line has moved to 1.5.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Chiefs. So
okay, even more so.
Raj,
even more so.
What are your thoughts?
Man, the Chiefs have not lost 2 in a row in a very, very long time, and definitely not this year. I do like Buffalo. They tend to come in and just kind of assert Bills football, and basically Josh Allen and Diggs, and Allen becomes triple dimensional, and they do what they do. But I don't know. I just cannot see, after hearing it all last week and losing, to Jordan Love, and I just see Kansas City doing what they do. A very fast team. Pacheco, watch for him to go off. I will take the Chiefs and the 2.5.
Did you say Pacheco just because he's on your fantasy team?
Potentially, but he's also been amazing.
I listen. I agree. Look, the Chiefs, they've been, kind of Jekyll and Hyde this year. They one game they look dominant. They should win the whole thing, and then the next game they, lose to Jordan Love. It's crazy. But that's the NFL, right? But you give me the Chiefs at home in Arrowhead. It's an afternoon game. The fans are going to be rowdy. They're tailgating all day. You give me a home stadium.
Don't do it. Don't do it. They're a mess. Don't do it.
The Chiefs
still have Andy Reid.
Will win. I'm even going to say
Lone Wolf?
10 points. Chiefs will win by 10.
Lone Wolf?
Woo.
Josh Allen, he is struggling right now. Stephon Diggs wants to trade. He wants to trade. He doesn't want to stay on that team.
Can we get a disclaimer? Don't actually bet your nuts on this.
What do they have? What are the Bills?
No, the Bills are terrible too, but the Chiefs are in disarray.
But Andy Reid can pull him back in. I believe in Andy Reid. I believe in Patrick Mahomes. As long as Taylor Swift doesn't come to the game, the Chiefs win.
Hey, Chain, don't forget about my Rashee Rice pick. 52 receptions, almost 600 yards, and 5 TDs for a rookie. He's been solid. Really solid, dude, and that dude can fly.
That is pretty solid. All right. Next, we have the Broncos and the Chargers. You boys lived in San Diego. You were Chargers fans, if there are any in the world.
Oh, no.
There are none that I know of, but you guys are the closest thing.
I know.
So what do you think? Let's go to you first, Raj. Are there going to be any Chargers fans in the stadium?
Probably about 11. I have Herbert in another league, and he has killed me. Last week, he had less than 6 points against the Jets in their 6-0 win, or whatever the hell it was. that Denver secondary, although they have players and they're dirty as hell, is ranked towards the bottom of the league. But, you know, even though he's a dick, I'll take Sean Payton and, you know, Denver to bounce back. And they're just better coached right now. I mean, definitely. And I think the Broncos will pull out another ugly game.
Okay. Rob?
Yeah, first of all, if you actually gamble on this game, you need to stop watching this show and call that hotline on the back of your player's card because these teams are two unpredictable teams.
Jesus.
Well, because I'm going to gamble on it, I need to call my card number.
Yeah, which player's card are you referring to? Because we need to get points. If we're gonna drop a name here, are we doing?
Use your gut and do the opposite.
I gamble with Caesars. Although I haven't tried ESPN bet yet.
Points, please.
Man, I don't know. This is literally flip a coin. I guess Denver, because they're on the road, and LA is just getting points because they're the home team. And it's not really a home game. Just, give me Denver. No logical reason why. No analysis. Just.
Okay. Tom, what do you got?
At the conclusion of this game, they are going to void out Brandon Staley's key card to get in and out of SoFi. He is dead man walking. Might as well send him away a couple weeks early so he can make his moving plans, his vacation plans, because that team stinks. And there's going to be about 60,000 rabid Bronco fans in LA to watch Russell Wilson pick apart that defense. I don't trust the Chargers. I don't trust maybe not necessarily Justin Herbert because he's got no offensive line. And if it's not Austin Eckler, they're screwed. No, give me the Raiders or the Broncos because they're fighting for their playoff lives, and we got them here next Saturday night at Ford Field. So, go Broncos!
So much individual talent on that Chargers team every year, and every year they fuck it up.
That's the Chargers. That's what they do.
That's what they do. That's what they've always done.
No, I agree. I mean, if you look back, what was it, week 4 maybe, when the Broncos were 1-3? Maybe it was week 5 where they were 1-4. I don't know, something of that nature. Russell's like, it's a long season. Our best season's yet ahead of us, or whatever he said. Blah blah blah. Hey, that dude has stepped up. He has stepped up, and with lesser talent around him than what the Chargers are showing. And give me the Broncos all day. The Chargers are a shit show. Like you said, there's probably 6 one-man teams on the Chargers right now that, could play great and elite anywhere else, but not in San Diego. So there's not going to be a Chargers fan there that's really a fan. It's in SoFi, so everyone's going to go from, Hollywood to, Denver's going to be there. So give me Denver all day. Let's go next to the big matchup, the biggest one of the weekend, in my opinion, Philly and Dallas. And we all said our 5 here earlier. Some of us had Dallas ahead. Some of us had Philly ahead. Well, I'll say some of us. I'm the only one that had Dallas ahead, but that's okay.
I did too, I think. Yeah, I did.
No, Raj didn't even have Philly in his top 5.
I forgot about him. Jalen Hurts hurt means
even better. It's even better that you forgot.
Jalen Hurts hurt. I didn't count him this week.
So this is this is probably the 1 week we're going to find out who these teams really are.
Yeah.
Can Dallas beat a winning team? Can Philly bounce back from a really ugly loss at home, albeit weather, but nonetheless they got mollywopped at home. Again, I'll go back to Jalen Hurts. I think there's something there. There's a there, and it's affected his way that he's handled the position, his inability to run. Yes, Shane Steichen is no longer there. That offense has changed, and I think it's really catching up to them. So I like Micah Parsons to get to Jalen Hurts all day long here. Dak does what he needs to do. Give me the Cowboys here to kind of cement themselves and possibly make their run at a NFC East crown.
Raj, I'll ask you this. I know it's a big game, right? Dallas, Philly. But don't these teams seem pretty similar at this point? Like they're hyped up, they're big QB, should beat everybody, and then they lose just weird games. So what's going on here? What do you think?
Yeah, it's you're absolutely right though. Dominant, big receivers. Both teams love to have running backs catch the ball out of the backfield. Defensive line, a lot of speed across. Reddick on one side, Parsons on the other. Both will blitz the hell out of you. So yeah, that's a great take. And right now, Dallas is 6-0 at home. However, they haven't played the toughest competition in the world. That being said, they're going to score points. And from what I've seen with Jalen Hurts, even though I think this is one of those games where you want to take Philly every time because Dallas will just pull a Romo and somehow fuck it up. But although Philly will probably still win the division, I'm going to take Dallas in this game. I'm not sure what the over is at. 3.5 is quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the public.
51.5.
I'm hoping the public brings it down a little bit with the Philly love and hopefully get it at 3 or 2.5. And I will take Dallas because they're just playing better football right now. Although Tony Pollard has not been what we expected, and he really benefited from the big back in Ezekiel Elliott because he has been highly frustrating. So they're going to be a little one-dimensional, but I will take the Cowboys.
Yeah, Rob, on that segue, let's throw a little Tony Pollard Zeke question in here. Like, how good was Tony Pollard with Zeke, right? Like, he was that change-up guy. Zeke was known for, in between the tackles, like, get that hard yard, whatever. Now, Tony Pollard just doesn't seem to be able to handle that kind of weight. And is this a fluffed game? Like, what are these two teams?
With the Pollard Zeke, I think it's a question of kind of how Spears comes in for Henry. Like, when Zeke's in there, the defense knows what to expect. So they're geared in on the run game. Whenever Pollard's in there, there's a passing element and a running element. So it spreads out the line, right? And so the linebackers have to spread out and prepare for the pass. So it's just a different defense you're looking at. And so if you can run a quick sub for Zeke out, Pollard in, and the defense doesn't have time to adjust or they don't want to adjust, then you get a little mismatch there. So I think that's kind of where the two-level backs come in. As far as this game of fluff and all that, I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored.
You like the over 51.5?
I do.
I do too.
And I think that I trust Jalen Hurts more than I trust Dak. If this was 3 points, I have this hook. And if you're betting it while this hook's available, if you're thinking the Eagles, bet now because you don't want this hook to go away. But I just think Philly's a better team, and this is where the schedule we talked about earlier comes in. Philly, off of that tough stretch, kind of gave up in the second half. Was there a reason for this? Win the division, let's get through and let's get healthy. I think there's more psychological thinking into winning and losing football games than most people do. So give me the Eagles. I think they come out ready. Also, Jerry World's similar to what the Falcon Stadium is, what the Titan Stadium is. It's a home field advantage, but it's also a destination.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree there. So typically you get 3 points right for being at home. Mm-hmm. So they're a half a point favorite, which is about right. Like these two teams, I had them in. I had Cowboys 3, Eagles 4 in my top 5. So they're right there neck and neck. To me, they're very, very similar teams. The way they operate, the offensive line, both of them are great. Defense is great. Quarterback, both of them are great. So it's going to be a battle. I like the Cowboys in this one just because they're at home. So I give them that 3-point nod. But it's going to be a battle. I'm anxious to see this one. Well, that wraps up our Bet Your Nuts. So let's go to final thoughts. Final words. Sorry, excuse me. Final thoughts on my docket here. So final thoughts. Let's start with you, Tom. What do you make of this season with the NFL? And, what are your final thoughts on some of these close games coming in?
You're on mute.
Sorry, guys. This season's been really wild, very unpredictable. Teams you thought were going to run away aren't. So people are coming down to earth, and I think that's expected at this point in time. But really what I want to say is I hit on this in a previous broadcast. Lions fans are terrible. Plain and simple, terrible. They've got a 9-3 football team, and all I hear on sports talk radio is how they should do this and how they should do that, and I don't like the way things are going, and it's doom and gloom. It's no different at 9-3 than it was at 1-8 or 1-10 or 3-13 or 0-16. It's just, it boggles my mind, the fan base in this city that completely jumps off the bandwagon at the first sign of some problems. This is a team that is doing better than expected. I don't think anybody thought that they were going to be where they're at right now. Yes, there was a lot of hype, but the reality is they're a very young team, and they've dealt with a lot of injuries. And be happy that they're 9-3. Be happy that they're going to win the NFC North for the first time in over 30 years. Be happy that they're going to get a home playoff game for the first time since 1991. These fans get on my nerves. It pisses me off. If they were to win one more game, hey, you know what? That's one more game than they won last year. It's a success. It's a winning season. Be happy. Respect the process. Brad Holmes has turned this program around with Dan Campbell. Sheila Hemp-Ford, the owner, has done wonders. Live in the now. Appreciate what you have, because you could be like Tennessee. You could be like Arizona. You could be like some of these other teams that are struggling. Be happy. appreciate.
Thank you for the subtle words there.
Yeah,
Tom.
unnecessary shot. I applaud you, Tom.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, I just mean there's a lot of uncertainty with Tennessee.
I feel the same way with
I
feel the same way with Tennessee basketball fans.
I feel the same way with Tennessee fans, period. Tennessee fans are the worst. Dude, you want to rival some Lions fans, Tennessee fans, they will praise you one day and hang you the next. Yep. It is
that's
unbelievable.
That's here.
Unbelievable.
It's as if these teams owe them something, right? For them jumping on a bandwagon like you owe me
wins. It is such bullshit. It pisses me off. So anyway.
That's what quickly my little one asks, like, Dad, why are you a Raiders fan? Don't they stink? And I'm like, look, bud, it's called loyalty. If I could switch, and if I could have switched, I would have done it decades ago. But that's just not how I roll. And he won't either. But hopefully he won't like the Raiders. But anyways,
those other choices, the Titans or Falcons. So.
I mean, pick Jordan Love for all I care.
Yeah.
No, the thing I was going to say that I found interesting is in the last 12 matchups, Dallas is 8-4 against the Eagles, including 5-0 at home. For what that's worth. So the few of us that do like Dallas, it's kind of interesting. The Eagles have not played great in Jerry World.
Yeah, I can see that, but you can throw statistics out the window.
I want to keep them inside the window, though.
Yeah, I know you do. All right, Rob.
That's what I do.
Yes, so it's our NFL show, so I'm keeping it NFL related. Look, the NFL has a problem on its hands, and I think they see it coming, but I'm not sure they fully grasp it. Why I think they see it coming is they keep making the rules for offense to be easier and easier to score, move the game. But the problem they have, there's not 15 people in the world that can play quarterback at NFL level. And so you've only got 10 to 12 teams that can win this thing. And the rest is just struggling to stay alive. And that's without injuries. Once you combine injuries, there's only like 6 players that can. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if it's make it even easier to play quarterback. I don't know how you do that, but these guys, I don't know if you widen the field. Something has to happen to where some of these games are just trash to watch, and putting them on Thursday night, this short week is even worse. Like, by no means is the NFL in financial trouble, but from just a long-term perspective, I don't know if it's model more the college game where more people play quarterback, but they're just half the league sucks. And that's not it's moving more to the NBA than it is moving towards, I don't know, the MLB where more teams can win, if that's even possible. But something's a little off with the NFL right now, and they need to figure it out.
Yeah, it's such a fast transition, and that's what surprised me about Stroud versus Bryce Young. I thought they'd be sort of equal, but the game has slowed down for C.J. Stroud. They have better offensive line right away, and that's a rare thing.
Yeah.
He has been spectacular, but he is an anomaly. Yeah, Herbert was like that originally as well, but yeah, for every 1 or 2 of those guys, there's 15 that take 5 years, unless you're in the Green Bay model, if at all, that they figure it out. And these are with pro quarterback rules. It's just bigger, faster, stronger. But you're absolutely right that I don't know how you can make it any more friendly for quarterbacks, but the speed of the game is just head on. Kids are getting dizzy out there. But that's an interesting take.
I honestly think we're not too far away from a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi rule, then you can rush the quarterback. Like,
if that happens, no.
On that note,
yeah, dude.
No, but you're exactly like. There's anomalies out there. Like RG3 was that guy. Like his first year in the NFL was phenomenal, right? And then, I mean, obviously he's a different type of quarterback than CJ. He ran the ball more, and all this, but coaches will figure that out, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing about CJ, he is a prototypical NFL quarterback. He's a pocket guy, and he can move outside the pocket and make plays. He is throw first, not run, but he can run. Like, he only had 33 rushing yards at Ohio State, and that happened in the last 2 games of the season. That is a guy that wants to throw the ball. He does not want to run. And you see that it's crazy. It's an anomaly. Ohio State does not produce quarterbacks that transition well in the NFL.
Caleb Williams is a very similar player, by the way.
Caleb Williams is a very similar player. And he, I think got a kind of a raw deal. I don't know what happened with his team, but he's going to be great in the NFL. Like, he sits in the pocket. He's great. I think he'll transition very, very well in the NFL.
100%.
But anyway, I digress. It was a great show, boys. We'll be back next week. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow all of our feed, Twitter, Facebook.
When we count down, can we count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi?
Yeah, 1 Mississippi. Yeah, YouTube.
You guys assume it won't happen. There's a reason why they put the Pro Bowl on every year, and people watch it. It is offensive. It's showing you what the future is going to be.
Mm.
Right.
That's reckless speculation. That is fine. All right, boys. To me, the host, Brandon, Tom, Rob, Raj. We'll see you guys next time.
I think Rhode Island.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Reckless Speculation. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, searching Reckless Speculation. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We look forward to catching you right here next week with another exciting episode of Reckless Speculation. Cheers.